here for science. The first question, the following are features of mitosis, except, letter A, 2 daughter cells are produced from one parent cell. Letter B, it involves only one nuclear division. Letter C, it has crossing over. Letter D, daughter cells contain the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell. So in mitosis, letter D is correct because it only undergoes one cellular division. And letter B, it involves one nuclear division. This is true. And 2 daughter cells are produced in mitosis. So the answer here is letter C, which is it has crossing over because in mitosis there is no such thing as crossing over of chromosomes. Next, number 2, how many chromosomes do daughter cells of mitosis have? So it's 46 chromosomes. If it's asking for how many pairs of chromosomes, you're gonna answer it 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, the answer here is letter C, which is 46. Next, the following are members of the fibrous root system, except, when we say fibrous roots, the roots of these plants are having the same sizes, okay? The choices are carrot, rice, corn, onion, okay? So the answer here is carrot because carrot belongs to the top root system wherein there is one big root before, and you can see the small roots anyway. Next one, number 4, which of the following is not true about my meiosis? Daughter cells contain half a number of chromosomes as a parent cell. This is true because this happens in gamete cells. Gamete cells must have half the number or 23 chromosomes only because when they meet, and what's this? When they meet during fertilization, when these 2 gamete cells meet during fertilization and form into zygote, they make 46 chromosomes, okay? Letter B, variations do not occur in the daughter cells. It occurs. Variations occur. Involves 2 nuclear divisions is correct and occurs in gamete cells is correct, okay? So the answer is letter B. Okay? Variations occur. Next one, number 5, the exchange of gases in plants is made possible by what cells? The answer here is stomata. It's the tiny opening that you can see under the leaves, okay? Where the gas exchange happen. Next one, blank covers the blade of a leaf to prevent water loss. Usually when you see the leaves of the plants, they have this what you call very shiny stuff that covers the upper or the blade or the upper part of the leaves. It's what we call cuticle. It's a waxy substance. This does not allow the water loss in plant leaves because if there's no cuticle, what will happen is the leaves will die. Anyway, next one, which of the following protects the plant cells from damage? Okay, so it's cell wall, letter B. Next one, which of the following belong to the top root system? As I told you earlier, top root system has one big root, and that is letter B, radish. Okay, all the 3 other choices belong to the fibrous root system. Number 9, when 2 gamete cells meet and form into zygote, how many pairs of chromosomes does the zygote have? So here it's asking for pairs, so it's 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes. The answer is letter B, 23 pairs of chromosomes. Number 10, how many chromosomes do daughter cells of meiosis have? It's 23 chromosomes. Because when these two cells, like for example egg cell and sperm cell, meet during fertilization, they make a total of 46, which is a normal number of chromosomes, okay? Or 23 pairs of chromosomes. That's it. Hello, good morning teachers. Here I have another set of reviewers. Which I just made, I think, a month ago. Anyway, so let's just start with this. Number 1, my best friend lives Boretz Road. Okay, now if we're talking with prepositions of place or location, when it is only the name of the road is given, you always have to use on. Okay, preposition on, like on Boretz Road, on Pilar Road, on Pilar Street, on Rojas Boulevard, on Ayala Avenue, like that. Okay, so avenue, streets, boulevard, road, use the preposition on, okay, when it comes to addresses or like location. Okay, so on. Number 2, both drill captains blank with the band. Okay, so here both the indefinite pronoun, plural form both, takes plural verb. Okay, so there you go. So you would say both drill captains practice with the band. Okay, so it's letter B. Next one, 1/4 of the cake, blank enough, not enough for him. Okay, so number 3 and number 4 are actually related. So I have to also read number 4 and then let's compare the answers. 1/4 of the cakes. Not enough, blank, not enough for him. Okay, so number 3, as you noticed, number 3 and number 4, as you noticed, both are in fraction form and that's 1/4. And take note of the noun after it, or the prepositional phrase and the object of the preposition after that. Okay, so here 1/4 of the cake for number 3 and number 4 is 1/4 of the cakes. Now, if it's plural, the noun is plural, it takes plural verb. If the noun is singular, it takes singular verb. Now, what's the difference when say 1/4 of the cake and 1/4 of the cakes? Okay, in number 3, there is only one cake and 1/4 of it is not enough. Okay, I'm sorry. So, when I say 1/4 of the cake, there is only one cake, and 1/4 of that, a fraction of that is not one whole cake, or a plural form anyway. So you have to take singular verb for that. Now, when it comes to number 4, 1/4 of the cakes. So there are maybe like 10 cakes, and then 1/4 of it is not enough for not enough for him. So there are a lot of cakes, and 1/4 of those cakes, okay, number of cakes, okay, 1/4 of the number of cakes are not enough for him. Okay, so it takes a plural verb. Okay, so here number 3, 1/4 of the cake is not enough for him, and number 4, 1/4 of the cakes are not enough for him. Okay, so there you go. Number 5, we have here 2/3 of the chicken. Okay, number 5 and 6 are also related with number 3 and 4. Same rule. 2/3 of the chicken, blank eaten. And number 6, 2/3 of the chickens, blank eaten. Now, remember, take note of the noun or the object of the preposition of after the fraction. Okay, so number 5, it's singular chicken. That means there is one whole chicken and 2/3 of that. Okay, just 2/3 of that. But here in number 6, chickens, that means there are lots of chickens. Okay, maybe 10 or 20 whatsoever, and 2/3 of that. Okay, there, we're referring here of the number. Okay, so here number 5, 2/3 of the chicken is eaten, and then 2/3 of the chickens are eaten. Okay. Oh, number 6, pwede din siyang were eaten. Okay, pwede din siya. Since wala siyang, I'm sorry for that. Anyway, so it's letter B and C for number 6 kasi wala siyang time expression na yesterday, last night. So it can also be, it can be present or it can be past form. Okay, anyway. Number 6 also, we cannot say have. It's because it is in active sentence. Letter D is only true if the sentence and the question is in passive form. Okay, so the answers here are just, I'm sorry for that, B and C. Next one, I'm sorry. Okay, 70 years, okay, times distance, and what more? Amount of money, always take singular verb. Okay, so 70 years is a very long time to wait. Okay, so letter A. Number 8, 60 kilometers is a long ride. Okay, so again, because this is distance, as I've told you earlier, 10,000 pesos, it's amount of money, so it's not enough to pay the bills. Okay, so letter A. Number 10, 500 peso bills are gone. Okay, the answer here is letter B, are gone. Why? Why are? Why plural? Because here we're not talking of the amount of the money, but the quantity of the money. How many 500 peso bills? How many? There are 20. Okay, so here it's plural. So definitely, it will take a plural verb, and that's letter B, which is R. Okay? There you go. Next, number 11. Since he met his new girlfriend, Juan never seems to be blank home. Okay, so actually in the expression, I have this book from Cambridge University in London. And then, actually I'm using that grammar book, and it's really very nice. I'll be going to start discussing all of the topics there, because there are like, I think, 100 topics. And that's really very comprehensive, and the grammar rules are really very vividly explained, detailed. The explanation is very detailed, like that. So I'll be going to take videos of myself also discussing the whole book para sa mga nakapasa ng LET, and then they're taking for the EPT or the English Proficiency Tests, and those who will be taking all LET also. It's good. Okay, so just check my page from time to time for the videos. Okay, so that's actually really very nice because it's from a British university, Cambridge University. Anyway, so here, when the expression or the word is home, we always say like at home. Okay, so here letter C, number 11. Next one, number 12. The child responded to his mother's demands by throwing a tantrum. Okay, there you go. Next, number 13. I think she spent the entire afternoon blank the phone. So the phone, the expression on the phone or the phrase on the phone, based on the grammar book that I have, it's on. Okay, so I think she spent the entire afternoon on the phone. My fingers were injured, so my sister had to write the note for me. For me, letter A. Why? Because if you're asking someone to do something for you, you always have to use for. Okay? So for me or for him, for her. Okay? Next, number 15. The police caught the thief blank the corner of Cascade and Plum Streets. Okay. So a specific point of a certain place, we always use the preposition at. Okay? At the corner, at the middle, at the edge, stuff like that. Okay? Or at the gate, like that. Number 16, it has been snowing blank Christmas morning. Okay, so here, the start of the time, so we say since. Why? Because it is, the sentence is in present perfect progressive tense. That means has or have plus been plus ing form. Okay? So we only use for since. Since is used with the start of the time or the period, and then for is used with the whole period. And these two, for and since, are always used with the perfect tenses. It can be present perfect tense or a present perfect progressive tense. Okay? Like number 16. So it's since. Okay. Next, what are the main ingredients of this casserole? Okay, there you go. Next one, number 18. My best friend, John, is named after his great-grandfather. So, he was named after his great-grandfather. Okay? Grandpa stayed up until 2 in the morning. Okay? Not 4 or not of, not in, but it's until 2 in the morning. End of the time. Next, most of the work needs to be completed this month. Okay, most of the work is non-count noun or uncountable nouns, and most of it. Okay, so there are also cases. Most, this most, some, and all. There are also, these are the special cases because when you're using it with non-count noun, it always takes singular verb. But if you're using it with count nouns or countable nouns, it always takes plural verb. Like for example, most of the work needs. So it's singular, right? But we say most of the people. People is countable noun, so it is like need, plural form of the verb. Okay? So there you go. Next, number 21. Neither Ben nor his sisters. Okay, so neither nor rule, either or. Rule, you always have to take the nearer subject. Okay, so here the subject is sisters. So since sisters is plural, so we have to take plural verb, and that is were, letter B. Next, number 22. 22 and 23 are related. So take note of this. The director and producer. Okay, remember there is no article the or there is no definite article the or there is no indefinite articles a or on after the conjunction and. So if in that case the two subject, which is the director and producer, refers to only one person. Okay, so it takes singular verb. So the director and producer is the best. Okay, but number 23, the director and the producer. So that means they refer to the two different people. Okay, so the director and the producer are the best, or you can also say were the best. Okay, so it can the two are possible answers here. But if there is like a time expression like what's this? Last night or last year, like that, so you can only use were. But since there is no such thing as that, so there are two possible answers here, and that's are and were. Okay, so gold as well as platinum Okay, so here intervening phrases as well as together with, in addition to, and stuff like that, it doesn't affect the subject verb agreement. Okay, so the subject here is always the gold, the first stuff. Okay, before the comma, and after the comma and before the comma, I mean like the intervening phrase as well as platinum doesn't affect the subject verb agreement. So our subject here is gold, and then since it's singular, it takes singular verb. Okay, the gold as well as platinum has recently risen in price, not is. It is because risen is in past participle, and it must be paired with has or have, because this one is in the present perfect tense. Okay, has risen in price. Okay, since gold is singular, so we have to use has, not have. Not is because it is also in active form, not passive form. We can use is here if it's in passive sentence, but since it's an active sentence, we have to use has or have. But since it's singular, gold, so has. Okay, there you go. 25, the boss as well as his colleagues. Okay, as I've told you, this is related to 24. The boss is the subject here because as well as his colleagues is just an intervening phrase. So it doesn't affect the subject verb agreement. So the subject is boss or the boss, and it takes singular verb. So we would say has been robbed by the robber. Okay, has been. Letter B. 26, one of the most intelligent students who scores. Okay, subject here, don't be confused with one and students. Okay, students is just object of the preposition of. It doesn't affect the subject verb agreement. Okay, take note of that. And then the subject here is just one, and then it's singular, so it takes singular verb. So you would say who scores. Okay, so there are two possible answers here, that's B and D, but take note of the second blank. Who scores full marks is John. It's singular. Okay, John is singular, so we have to use is. So the answer here is letter B. Next, 27, the International Club as well as Choral Society and the Rowing Club. As I've told you, intervening phrases, International Club is singular, takes singular verb. So needs to submit a new constitution. Next, number 28, the milk has gone bad. Has gone bad. 6 gallons of milk has gone bad. 6 gallons of milk are still in the refrigerator. So the answer here is letter C. Okay? Next one, the large number of votes. Still. Okay, the large number. The expression, the large number or the number, and the a large number or a number, the number and a number. The number always takes singular verb, and a number always takes plural verb. Okay, so here the number or the large number of votes still votes, letter B. Okay, so this is the expression, the number. Next one, to an outsider, the economics of the country, blank to be in disarray. Seems to an outsider. Okay, the economics of the country, economics is singular. Okay, take note of these words which has S in it, but they are singular, like mathematics, aquatics, athletics, what one? Physics, economics, okay, measles, okay, moms, like that stuff. Okay, these words look to be look plural, but actually they're singular words. Okay, so it takes singular verb, and that's letter B, which is since. Okay, I hope this helped you a lot, guys, and see you in the next videos. I'll be taking videos of myself discussing the comprehensive grammar in use by Cambridge University Press. That's the whole book. That's more than 100 topics. I think 110 to be exact. And I'll be also discussing mathematics and sciences and stuff like that, and some professional education. And I'll be also doing the debugging of the online reviewers that are posted by Sam, because as I've noticed, there are lots of mistakes on the answers, so be careful with that. Do not just like get the reviewer and then take the answer. That's take the answers are all take the answers correct. I mean, all of them are correct. No, don't do that like that. Do some research. Try to read some and know if the answers are correct or not. Okay. So there you go. I hope to see you again, and yeah. See you and God bless. Fighting lang, teacher. Fighting. Hello, good morning. Here we go again. This is Teacher Seppi. This is a review for General Education, English. Okay, so let's start. My brother and I blank good swimmers. Now here the subjects are my brother and I. So the subject is compound, so it says the verb that must follow it is plural, and that's are. So my brother and I are good swimmers. The weather is nice today. Blank, warm and sunny. So it refers to a thing. So it is it, the subject, and followed by the verb is and an adjective. Okay? Adjectives here are warm and sunny. So you would say it's, and that's letter B. Okay, so it is warm and sunny. The first one, letter A, is it's without apostrophe. That that connotes was this ownership. Okay, so the answer here is letter B. Next, Dante blank a book when the phone rang. Okay, so there are two situations here. There are two action verbs, and that's the phone rang and the action, Dante's action. Anyway, so always remember when you have this stuff, the phone rang was in the past, so you would have to have the past tense of the verb also, and that's Dante was reading a book when the phone rang. And remember that the longer action must take the ing form. Which is longer, reading a book or the phone rang? Because it's like when he was reading a book, the phone rang. So it's just a short period. The ringing of the phone was just a short time while he was doing the reading. Okay, so you would say Dante was reading a book when the phone rang. Why was reading? Because it's in the past form. The phone rang. Okay, there you go. Next one. The longer action always takes the ing form, and the shorter one takes the past form. Okay, remember that. I am tired. I blank to go home. Okay, so as you can see here, always remember that we don't have ing form for wanting. We don't say I am wanting a phone, I am wanting. We don't say that. We don't have any present participle or ing form for the verb want. It must always take the base form. So you would say I am tired, I want to go home. Okay, so that's letter C. Next one, next number, it blank when we went out. This is the same as the situation that I told you earlier. It blank and we went out. We went out is a past form. So what was happening when they went out? So there's something here, and then it's past form. So you would say was raining. It was raining when we went out. Okay, so the longer action was raining, whereas the going out or when they went out, that's the shorter action. Okay, remember that. So the answer here is was raining, and that's letter B. Next one, James blank asleep while he blank. Okay, so there you go, the same situation. Which is longer? Okay, so it's which action is longer and which action is shorter. Okay, so James fell asleep while he was reading. Okay, James fell asleep. While he was reading. He was reading. Reading is longer action, so that's why it takes the ing form. Okay, there you go. I blank a lot of books, but I don't read much these days. So as you can see here, these days is a present situation. But before, he loved reading books. Okay, so we have to use here used to read, letter D. Why? Because when you are talking about a situation wherein you keep on doing in the past but you are not doing it nowadays, you always have to use used to. Okay, so here I used to read a lot of books, but I don't read much these days. Okay, so that's letter D. Next one, Jane and Mike blank married for 10 years. Okay, so for 10 years, this is a period of time. So we always use a present perfect form of this, or has plus PP, or past participle, or have plus past participle. Since our subject is compound subject, and that's Jane and Mike, we always have to use the plural form of the present perfect tense, which is have, and that's have been. Okay, always remember, have been is present perfect. Perfect tenses, we always use the period of time, which is denoted by the preposition for 10 years, and the preposition since plus the start of the time. Okay, so there we go. Jane and Mike have been married for 10 years. Because of this, for 10 years, we use the present perfect tense, and then Jane and Mike is a plural subject, our plural subject, so we'll just have to use the plural form of the present perfect tense. Okay, so there we go. Now, if you are going to use, try to check the usage of for, since, and ago. Ago is only used with past form of the verb, but for and since is used with the present perfect tenses. Okay, so always remember that. Now, the difference between for and since is also, for is used with the total period of time. Like, for example, for 10 years, for 6 months, for 2 days, like that. Or, you can interchange, you can use also in for the period of time, like in 10 months, in 10 years, you can use them interchangeably. But if you are answering a question, and it is in the present perfect tense, you always have to use the preposition for. Okay, there you go. And since is used with the start of the time. Like, for example, Teacher Seppi has been teaching online since 2014, like that. Okay, since the start of the time. Remember that always. There you go. Next one, I know Mary. Okay, I blank her for a long time. So remember this one, for a long time. For, this must be a present perfect tense, and this, I have known her for a long time. Okay, so I is a plural form, so it must take a plural verb. Next one, Reynaldo has been in Canada. Okay, has been, remember this is present perfect tense, and 6 months is a period of time, so you have to use for 6 months. Okay, there you go. Not since, because it's a period of time, so since is only used with the start of the time. Next one, I have lived in North Cotabato. I was 10. So I was 10 is the start of the time, so you would use here since. Okay, so I have lived in North Cotabato since I was 10. Why since? It is because it is a present perfect tense, which is I have lived. Okay, next one, I don't think it blank this afternoon. Always remember that if you have the word think in a sentence, you always have to use the future form of will, and that is, I don't think it will rain this afternoon. Okay, so the answer here is letter B. Remember that always. I think, again here, I think Paul think. So I think Paul will pass the lead exam. Okay, will pass. This letter C. Next one, when I was young, I blank very fast. Okay, so can run, could run, can run, and could ran. So the answer here is letter B. Why is that so? Because we are talking here of the past action. Okay, so you would say could run. Okay, that's letter B. Okay, when I was young denotes a past action. Next one, I'm happy. I'm happy too. Letter C. Why do you think so? Because if it's a positive sentence, you always have to use the word to. Okay, but if it's negative, you have to use either or neither. Okay, you would say, oh, I can't cook. I can't cook either. Okay, there you go. This negative sentence, can't. Next one, kind of music do you like? Okay, so remember the usage of which and what. Now, if you are going to use what, that means you are just referring to a few number of, or just like some number of an items. But if you are going to use which, you are referring to a lot of items. Okay, I'm sorry, it's the different stuff. I'm sorry. it's the opposite. If you are going to use which, it must be a few number of items. But if you're going to use what, it must be more, or a lot of variety of items. Okay, so here, what kind of music do you like? So there are a lot of kinds of music. Okay, so the answer here is what, because there are a lot of kinds of music. If you are just referring to 1, 2, 3, 4 kinds of music, you have to use which. But since we have a lot of kinds of music, you have to use what. Okay, so what kind of music do you like that stuff. So the answer here is letter B. Next is the capital, blank is the capital of the Philippines. Here, this is the same stuff with the previous number. You have to use what. Why is that so? Because we have lots of cities in the Philippines, and just one is the only capital of the Philippines, and that's Manila. So you would say, what is the capital of the Philippines? Because we have a lot of cities in the Philippines. That could be used as our capital city. Okay, so there you go. Next one, Sonia suggested blank to the movies. Okay, so remember, there are some verbs that must be that when they are followed with a verb, these verbs that follow them will always will sometimes in ing form, or sometimes just to plus or the infinitive, or to plus the base form, or both. You can use both. Now, suggested is one of the verbs that must be followed with ing form. Okay, so just try to research those verbs that are followed with the ing form and followed by the infinitives, and also those verbs which can be followed by both the infinitive and the ing form. Sorry for that. Anyway, there you go. So here, Sonia suggested going to the movies. Next, I prefer by car. So prefer is also followed with the ing form. So you would say, I prefer going by car. Next one, are you going blank this afternoon? Okay, so if you are going to see the verb form of go, gone, went, going, like that, and it is followed with the activity must be in ing form. Like for example, I am going shopping, I am going fishing, like that. Okay, so the verb form of go must always be followed with ing form of the verb. Okay, so here, are you going shopping? That's letter C. Remember that. And they went. Okay, went is also a form of go, past form of go. So you would say, they went fishing. Okay, there you go. Next one. Tanya blank coffee for us. Now, when you are referring to making or creating something, you have to use the verb. Sorry for that. You have to use the verb. What's this? Create. The verb make. Okay. So here, Tanya is making coffee for us, not doing. Okay. Somebody asked, blank book is this? So here we're referring to the possessive form, and that is whose. That's letter D. Okay. Whose with letter A is a short form or contracted form of who is. Okay, so here we are asked to find the possessive form, and that's whose, which is letter D. Next one, I would like blank about hotels in Cebu. Okay, information, we don't have any S form or plural form. Both the plural and the singular form are just information, like equipment, what more? Those verbs which do not change even if it's in plural form. Anyway, so information, you would say, I would like, the answers actually are just like, your choices would be C and D, right? Because as I've told you, we don't have like informations, the word information. So the answers would be between C and D. Now, when do we use any and when do we use some? We use some for positive sentences, and any, we use them with negative sentences or a question sentence. Okay, question sentences. Okay, like I haven't got any plan, something like that. Okay, so haven't is a negative sentence. A negative is negative, so that means you have to use any. Okay, if it's some, it must be in positive sentence. So our question here, or the sentence above, is a positive sentence, so we have to say, I would like some information about hotels in Cebu. Okay, so there you go, guys. I hope this helped you a lot. This helps you a lot. And don't forget to share this video, and please do subscribe or like my page for more videos coming soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, this is Teacher Seppi. Here we have reviewer for English, and some of these are for history, for sciences, like that, and genetics. Okay, number 1, parasitology studies parasites. Pathology is to what? That is diseases. As you all know, pathology studies pathogens or the organisms that cause diseases. Letter D. Number 2, philology that studies language. Primatology that studies primates or ape-like organisms. Letter C. Next, number 3, thanatology that studies death, and toxicology that studies, of course, toxic or poisons. Next one, urology studies urine, and virology that studies viruses and the diseases they cause. Letter D. Next, number 5, zoology, animals, and taxonomy, naming and classifying organisms, as letter C. Okay, and the father of taxonomy is Aristotle. And that time, during his time, he classified the organisms into two kingdoms, and those were Plantae and Animalia. Next, number 6, Animalia, Platypus, Plantae, Fern. Okay, letter A. Next, dicot, beans, monocot is corn. Okay, so here dicot has two cotyledons and monocot has one cotyledon. Beans has naked venation, which is a primary feature or characteristics of a dicot plant, and corn also has parallel venation. When I say venation, that's the arrangement of veins in their leaves. Okay. Next, dicot, gumamela, and monocot we have rice again. Okay, for the knitted and the parallel venation of the leaves. Next, whorl, we have three kinds of like leaf arrangements. Okay, number 1 we have whorl, we have opposite, and the other one is alternate. Okay, here whorl, coconut, opposite is mongo, beans. Okay, opposite. Opposite, peanuts, and alternate we have ginger. Next one, rice, parallel, mango is knitted. Okay, venation, that talks about venation. Next, parallel, knitted. Parallel is corn, and knitted is radish and santan. Actually, we have two answers here, letter B and D. Next one, taproot system, carrot. In the taproot, there's one big root before the small roots, and the fibrous roots, they have these are the roots that are of the same sizes. So fibrous roots is letter D, grass. Next, cell tissue and tissue is organ. Okay, in the hierarchical organization that I discussed in one of my videos, you can see it there. Next, 15, Egypt, Pharaoh, and Khan, that is in Mongolia. Okay, that's what we call their leaders before, Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan. Next, Caesar, Roman Empire, and Tsar is Russia. Okay, that's how they called their leader before, Tsar. That's also from Caesar actually. Next one, old name of Iraq is Mesopotamia, and old name of Iran is what? That is Persia. Next, Inca is found in America. Mesopotamia is found in Asia. Myanmar's old name is Burma. France's old name is Gold. Next one, that means actually roaster. The old name of Taiwan is Formosa. Old name of Thailand is Siam. Letter D. Next one, abandon, discard. Accord means agree. Okay. Next, number 22, mammalogy, mammals. Morphology, that studies words. Okay, good. Next one, mammalogy, mammals. Again, morphology, words. It's repeated anyway. Next one, mycology is fungi. Numismatology, that studies coins. Oncology, tumors. Ophthalmology, that is eyes. Okay. Ornithology, that's birds. Paleontology, that's fossils. And artifacts. Next one, ribosomes, protein synthesis. Golgi apparatus, that's packaging. Next one, chloroplast, photosynthesis. Ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. Chloroplast is where photosynthesis is happening. Next one, tapeworm, endoparasite. Lice is ectoparasite. Endo means inside, ecto means outside. Last number, amphibian example is frog. Aves is chicken. Aves, we say aves, birds. Okay, these are organisms with feathers. Okay, that's all for today, and don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube, Teacher's Happy. Goodbye. Hello teachers and future teachers. Here I have reviewer for general education, and this covers science, math, English, and general information. Okay, so number 1, if the scores in mathematics test of 61 students are arranged from the highest to the lowest, the 31st score is the blank. Okay, the answer here is median, because if a given set of data, if you're going to arrange them from the lowest to the highest, or from the highest to the lowest, the middlemost data or datum is our median. Okay? Mode here is the most frequent data that appear in a given set of data. Mean is the average. Okay, so the answer is letter B, median. Next one, what science deals with the study of the naming and classification of organisms? Okay, so taxonomy is the answer here. Taxonomy is the naming and classification of organisms. Biology, studies of life, anyway, all forms of living things. Pathology, that studies pathogens or the disease-causing organisms. And the nomenclature is naming. So the answer is taxonomy, letter A. Next, number 3, the vertex of an isosceles triangle is 45 degrees. What is the measure of one of the base angles? Now, if you're, take note of this is isosceles triangle. And one of the non-congruent triangle is 45 degrees. So that means 180 minus 45, that's 135. Now, 135 divided by 2, that gives you 67.5. So the base angle, one of the base angles of an isosceles triangle here in this question is 67.5 degrees. Letter D. Next one, what step follows formulating hypothesis? So the answer here is experimentation, of course, or experimenting, letter C. Number 5, which of the following parts of the circulatory system is responsible for the transport of macromolecules to different parts of the body? Macromolecules here are lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates. So the answer here is letter B, which is blood. Blood transports all those stuff which I mentioned, plus oxygen. Next, number 6, what number is next to the sequence, this given sequence? As you can see, as you noticed, we just add 400 to each proceeding term or the next term. So here, 24,650 plus 400, that will give you 25,050, which is letter C. Next, number 7, what vessels transport oxygen-rich blood to the different parts of the body? It's arteries, letter D. And the carbon-rich or carbon dioxide-rich blood is being transported by letter C, which is the veins. Capillaries is where the gaseous exchange happen in the body. Okay, so the answer is letter D. Next, number 8, what value of x will make the proportion correct? So you just have to multiply the extremes and the means. Okay, so x times 2.4, so that's 2.4x is equal to 12 times 12, which is 60. So 60 divided by 2.4, that will give you 25. Okay, letter C. Number 9, where does the gas exchange in the body take place? As I told you, in the body, it's in capillaries. Okay, gaseous exchange. Number 10, where the gaseous exchange in the lungs takes place in the alveoli, or the tiny air sacs. Okay, next, the answer there is letter C. Number 11, there are 70 men in the committee consisting of 120 members. What is the ratio of women to men? As you notice, the total is 120, so minus 70, that's 50. So we have 50 women to 70 men. So 50 is to 70, and making it into simplest form, we have 5 to 7, which is letter D. What part of the digestive system does peristalsis happen? So when I say peristalsis, that is the contraction of muscles of our esophagus, and that will bring our the bolus. Bolus is the food that we have that we chew, and if we're gonna swallow it, we the whole bowl of it is what we call bolus. Okay, and that is in esophagus. Peristalsis happens in esophagus. Letter B. Next, number 13, what is the transfer of heat in empty space? Of course, empty space, that's radiation. Solid to solid transfer of heat, that's conduction, letter B. And convection is solid to liquid. Okay, so the answer here is letter C, radiation. Next, a letter is picked at random from the English alphabet. What is the probability that the letter is contained in the word great? So how many letters do we have here? It's 5. How many letters all in all in English alphabet? We have 26. So the answer here is 526, which is letter B. Next, a vehicle consumes 2.5 liters of gasoline to travel 30 kilometers. In the nearest tent, how many liters of gasoline will it take for the vehicle to travel 418 kilometers? So here is a ratio and proportion problem. So it's 2.5 is to 30 is equal to x is to 418. So you have to multiply 418 times 2.5 divided by 30. That will give you 34.83 liters. Letter D. Okay? Next one. What do we call the wave-like contraction? This is what I told you earlier. There is a question related to this. What do we call the wave-like contraction of the wall of the esophagus, which is responsible for pushing down the food to the stomach? It's peristalsis, letter A. Homeostasis, this is the maintenance of the internal environment of our body. Okay, next one, the International Convention where the Philippines can validate its claim to the Spratlys and other territories in the West Philippine Sea. Okay, Kyoto Protocol, that is about global warming. UNCLOS, this is the United Nations Convention on Laws of the Seas. That is the answer, actually, letter B. That is where we base our claim in the Spratlys. ITLOS, that is International Tribunal, that's International Court where we can file the complaint. And UDHR, that is Human Rights arm of the United Nations. Okay, so the answer is UNCLOS, which is letter B. Next, democracy is for, by, and of the people, while oligarchy is for the selected few. Okay, selected few. Only few people. Next one, 19. If I were you, I blank not be joining the contest. So here the answer is letter B, would. If I were, I would. Okay, like that. Next, number 20. Who is your favorite blank? Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man? They say the best preposition here is among, because we're having three choices. Between is only used for two. Okay, so the answer is among. So you say, who is your favorite among Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man? Okay, that's all for today. I hope you're gonna visit my YouTube channel. Just find Teacher Seppi. Okay, thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, this is Teacher Seppi. Here I have Science Reviewer. Okay, let's go to question number 1. Which of the following is not a major part of a plant? Root, stems, bud, or leaves. Okay, so it's really very obvious that bud is the answer, which is letter C, because the major parts of the plants are root, stems, and leaves. Okay, number 2. Which of the following is not needed by the plants in order to survive? First, air, water, minerals and nutrients from the soil, or oxygen. Okay, this is really very obvious. It's because the plants photosynthesis, or the process of making food, they release oxygen, so it's not needed by the plants. Air, one of the primary components is carbon dioxide, which the plant needs to produce food. Water also, minerals and nutrients from the soil, so it's obvious, it's letter D. Next one, which of the following is a component of the air that is needed by the plants to carry out photosynthesis? Okay, so the first choice is carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Here, it's very obvious, it's carbon dioxide, because plants need this one with water plus sunlight to produce sugar, which is C6H12O6, and water, oxygen, I'm sorry. Number 4, which of the following parts of the plants that hold the plant in soil and takes in water and nutrients from the soil? Of course, it's roots, letter A. Number 5, which of the following parts of the plants which holds up the plant and moves water and nutrients through it? It's obvious, it's leaves. Number 6, which of the following parts of the plants make fruits that hold seeds also? So that's flowers, right? Okay, next one, what is the food production process that is taking place in a plant leaves? Okay, this is like food production, photosynthesis, letter B. Next one, number 8, which of the following is the reproductive part of the plant? Reproductive part, that means it's the one that produces another young or seeds, so it's flowers, letter D. Next, number 9, what is the source of energy of all living things? Of course, it's very obvious, it's sun. Next one, for question 10, we're going to, this one, grass has an arrow towards zebra, and zebra has an arrow towards lion. It's a food chain. Where does the zebra get energy? Of course, it's very obvious, it's from the grass. Number 11, what is needed in the photosynthesis to convert carbon dioxide and water into sugar and oxygen? Of course, it's sunlight, okay? Through chlorophyll, and the photosynthesis actually is taking place in the chloroplast. Next one, number 12, if a plant produces more sugar that it can use, the sugar is stored as not fats, it's only for animals. And the answer is letter D, which is starch. It's stored in the roots, the stems, and leaves. Next one, starch may be stored in the following except, I just mentioned it, in the seeds. C, it's not except seeds. Number 14, which of the following is a biotic factor? It's a biotic factor, it's living. So it's obvious, it's apple. Letter D. Next, number 15, which of the following is a biotic factor? Grass, temperature, mango, or men. Abiotic means non-living, so it's temperature, letter B. 16 are organisms that make its own food from the primary energy source. So its primary energy source, that's the sun. And these organisms are primary producers. Okay, so there are grasses. Next one, which of the following is an example of primary consumers? So primary consumer are those which eats, herbivores or primary producers. So it's rabbit, it's grass eating. Next one, Primary consumers are also called, primary consumers are herbivores. They're grass eaters. Or, yeah. Next, number 19, carnivores are also called. Carnivores can also be secondary, tertiary, like that. So here, since in the choices we only have secondary consumers, the answer is letter D, not letter B, because secondary producers, we don't have that one. It's secondary consumers. Next one, the last number are animals that eat herbivores. Of course, it's secondary consumers. Okay, herbivores are primary consumers. There you go. I hope it helped you guys. This helps you guys. And don't forget to visit my YouTube, Teacher Safi, and please subscribe. Thank you so much. Good morning. Hello, teachers and future teachers. Here I have reviewer for general education, and this covers science, math, English, and general information. Okay, so number 1, if the scores in mathematics test of 61 students are arranged from the highest to the lowest, the 31st score is the blank. Okay, the answer here is median, because if a given set of data, if you're going to arrange them from the lowest to the highest, or from the highest to the lowest, the middlemost data or datum is our median. Okay? Mode here is the most frequent data that appear in a given set of data. Mean is the average. Okay, so the answer is letter B, median. Next one, what science deals with the study of the naming and classification of organisms? Okay, so taxonomy is the answer here. Taxonomy is the naming and classification of organisms. Biology, studies of life, anyway, all forms of living things. Pathology, that studies pathogens or the disease-causing organisms. And nomenclature is naming, so the answer is taxonomy, letter A. Next, number 3, the vertex of an isosceles triangle is 45 degrees. What is the measure of one of the base angles? Now, if you're, take note of this is isosceles triangle, and one of the non-congruent triangle is 45 degrees, so that means 180 minus 45, that's 135. Now, 135 divided by 2, that gives you 67.5. So the base angle, one of the base angles of an isosceles triangle here in this question is 67.5 degrees. Letter D. Next one, what step follows formulating hypothesis? So the answer here is experimentation, of course, or experimenting, letter C. Number 5, which of the following parts of the circulatory system is responsible for the transport of macromolecules to different parts of the body? Macromolecules here are lipids, proteins, and carbohydrates. So the answer here is letter B, which is blood. Blood transports all those stuff which I mentioned, plus oxygen. Next, number 6, what number is next to the sequence, this given sequence? As you can see, as you noticed, we just add 400 to each proceeding term, or the next term. So here, 24,650 plus 400, that will give you 25,050, which is letter C. Next, number 7, what vessels transport oxygen-rich blood to the different parts of the body? It's arteries, letter D. And the carbon-rich or carbon dioxide-rich blood is being transported by letter C, which is the veins. Capillaries is where the gaseous exchange happen in the body. Okay, so the answer is letter D. Next, number 8, what value of x will make the proportion correct? So you just have to multiply the extremes and the means. Okay, so x times 2.4, so that's 2.4x is equal to 12 times 12, which is 60. So 60 divided by 2.4, that will give you 25. Okay, letter C. Number 9, where does the gas exchange in the body take place? As I told you, in the body, it's in capillaries. Okay, gaseous exchange. Number 10, where the gaseous exchange in the lungs takes place in the alveoli, or the tiny air sacs. Okay, next. Oh yeah, the answer there is letter C. Number 11, there are 70 men in the committee consisting of 120 members. What is the ratio of women to men? As you notice, the total is 120, so minus 70, that's 50. So we have 50 women to 70 men. So 50 is to 70, and making it into simplest form, we have 5 to 7, which is letter D. What part of the digestive system does peristalsis happen? So when I say peristalsis, that is the contraction of muscles of our esophagus, and that will bring our the bolus. Bolus is the food that we have that we chew, and if we're gonna swallow it, the whole ball of it is what we call bolus. Okay, and that is in esophagus. Peristalsis happens foods in esophagus. Letter B. Next, number 13, what is the transfer of heat in empty space? Of course, empty space, that's radiation. Solid to solid transfer of heat, that's conduction, letter B. And convection is solid to liquid. Okay? So the answer here is letter C, radiation. Next, a letter is picked at random from the English alphabet. What is the probability that the letter is contained in the word great? So how many letters do we have here? It's 5. How many letters all in all in English alphabet? We have 26. So the answer here is 526, which is letter B. Next, a vehicle consumes 2.5 liters of gasoline to travel 30 kilometers. In the nearest tent, how many liters of gasoline will it take for the vehicle to travel 418 kilometers? So here is a ratio and proportion problem. So it's 2.5 is to 30 is equal to x times x is to 418. So you have to multiply 418 times 2.5 divided by 30. That will give you 34.83 liters. Letter D. Okay? Next one. What do we call the wave-like contraction? This is what I told you earlier. There is a question related to this. What do we call the wave-like contraction of the wall of the esophagus, which is responsible for pushing down the food to the stomach? It's peristalsis, letter A. Homeostasis, this is the maintenance of the internal environment of our body. Okay, next one, the International Convention where the Philippines can validate its claim to the Spratlys and other territories in the West Philippine Sea. Okay, Kyoto Protocol, that is about global warming. UNCLOS, this is United Nations Convention on Laws of the Seas. That is the answer, actually, letter B. That is where we base our claim in the Spratlys. ITLOS, that is International Tribunal, that's International Court, where we can file the complaint. And UDHR, that is Human Rights, arm of the United Nations. Okay, so the answer is UNCLOS, which is letter B. Next, democracy is for, by, and of the people, while oligarchy is for the selected few. Okay, selected few. Only few people. Next one, 19. If I were you, I blank not be joining the contest. So here the answer is letter B, would. If I were, I would. Okay, like that. Next, number 20. Who is your favorite blank? Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man? They say the best preposition here is among, because we're having three choices. Between is only used for two. Okay, so the answer is among. So you say, who is your favorite among Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man? Okay, that's all for today. I hope you're gonna visit my YouTube channel. Just find Teacher Seppi. Okay, thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, this is Teacher Seppi. Here we have reviewer for English, and some of these are for history, for sciences, like that, and genetics. Okay, number 1, parasitology studies parasites. Pathology is to what? That is diseases. As you all know, pathology studies pathogens or the organisms that cause diseases. Letter D. Number 2, philology, that studies language. Primatology, that studies primates or ape-like organisms. Letter C. Next, number 3, thanatology, that studies death. And toxicology, that studies, of course, toxic or poisons. Next one, urology, studies urine. And virology, that studies viruses and the diseases they cause. Letter D. Next, number 5, zoology, animals. And taxonomy, naming and classifying organisms, as letter C. Okay, and the father of taxonomy is Aristotle. And that time, during his time, he classified the organisms into 2 kingdoms, and those were Plantae and Animalia. Next, number 6, Animalia, Platypus, Plantae, Fern. Okay, letter A. Next, dicot, beans. Monocot is corn. Okay, so here dicot has 2 cotyledons and monocot has 1 cotyledon. Beans has naked venation, which is a primary feature or characteristics of a dicot plant, and corn also has parallel venation. When I say venation, that's the arrangement of veins in their leaves. Okay. Next, dicot, gumamela, and monocot we have rice again. Okay, for the knitted and the parallel venation of the leaves. Next, whorl, we have 3 kinds of like leaf arrangements. Okay, number 1 we have whorl, we have opposite, and the other one is alternate. Okay, here whorl, coconut, opposite is mongo, beans. Okay, opposite. Opposite, peanuts, and alternate we have ginger. Next one, rice, parallel, mango, mango is knitted. Okay, venation. That talks about venation. Next, parallel knitted. Parallel is corn, and knitted is radish and santan. Actually, we have two answers here. Letter B and D. Next one, taproot system, carrot. In the taproot, there's one big root before the small roots, and the fibrous roots. These are the roots that are of the same sizes. So fibrous roots is letter D, grass. Next, cell tissue and tissue is organ. Okay, in the hierarchical organization that I discussed in one of my videos, you can see it there. Next, 15, Egypt, Pharaoh, and Khan, that is in Mongolia. Okay, that's why we call their leaders before Genghis Khan and Kublai Khan. Next, Caesar, Roman Empire, and Tsar is Russia. Okay, that's how they called their leader before, Tsar. That's also from Caesar actually. Next one, old name of Iraq is Mesopotamia, and old name of Iran is what? That is Persia. Next, Inca is found in America, Mesopotamia is found in Asia. Myanmar's old name is Burma. France's old name is Gold. Next one, that means actually roaster. The old name of Taiwan is Formosa. Old name of Thailand is Siam. Letter D. Next one, abandon, discard. Accord means agree. Okay. Next, number 22, mammalogy, mammals. Morphology, that studies words. Okay, good. Next one, mammalogy, mammals. Again, morphology, words. It's repeated anyway. Next one, mycology is fungi. Numismatology, that studies coins. Oncology, tumors. Ophthalmology, that is eyes. Okay. Ornithology, that's birds. Paleontology, that's fossils. And artifacts. Next one, ribosomes, protein synthesis. Golgi apparatus, that's packaging. Next one, chloroplast, photosynthesis. Ribosome is the site of protein synthesis. Chloroplast is where photosynthesis is happening. Next one, tapeworm, endoparasite. Lice is ectoparasite. Endo means inside, ecto means outside. Last number, amphibian is example is frog. Aves is chicken. Aves, we say aves, birds. Okay, these are organisms with feathers. Okay, that's all for today, and don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube, Teacher's Happy. Goodbye. Hi, good afternoon. This is Teacher's Happy again. I have here a review for English. I hope this would help you guys. Number one question, my best friend lives blank Burits Road. Okay, now if you're going to use preposition on roads, boulevards, avenues like that, street, you always have to use on. Okay, so my best friend lives on Burits Road. Name of roads. Number two, both drill captains blank with the band. So here, both is a plural subject, so it needs plural verb, calls for plural verb, and the plural verb here has no S, and that's practice. Next one, 1/4 of the cake. Take note, the cake. There's only one cake, one whole cake, and 1/4 of that, and that will always take singular verb, and that's is letter A. 1/4 of the cake is not enough for him. Next one, remember 3 and 4 are related, but the thing is, in number 4, 1/4 of the cakes. That means there could be like 2 or 3 or 4 or more cakes. Blank, not enough for him. So we say here, shall we say there are 6 cakes, so that means 1/4 of that is 1 and 1/2. Okay, so you have to take it plural. So the answer here is letter B, or not enough for him. Number 5, 2/3 of the chicken. This is the same with number 3 and number 4. We have 2/3. Fraction of a whole always takes singular verb. So the 2/3 of the chicken is eaten. Next one. 2/3 of the chickens. That means there are lots of chickens. So we say are eaten. Next one. 70 years. Now it's time. It speaks about time. So the subject is time. Time, distance, and amount of money always takes singular verb. So here, it must take singular verb, and that is. Okay, 70 years is a very long time to wait. Number 8, we have 60 kilometers is distance, so it calls for singular verb again, and that is letter A, which is. 60 kilometers is a long ride. Next, number 9, 10,000 pesos, again, amount of money. is not enough to pay the bill. So it's letter A. Number 10. Oh, here we are given with like a quantity of 500 peso bills. So there are 20 pieces of that. So it takes plural verb because it does not call for an amount, right? It does not talk, I'm sorry, of an amount of money. It just talks about the quantity of 500 peso bills, so are gone. Next, since he met his new girlfriend, who never seems to be at home. Number 12, the child responded to his mother's demands by throwing a tantrum. Next, I think she spent the entire afternoon blank the phone. The phone always takes on the phone. Next, my fingers were injured, so my sister had to write the note for me. Okay, instead of me, my sister has to write it for me. Next, number 16, the police caught the thief blank the corner of Cascade and Plum Streets. So this is like a certain point, so you always have to use at for a certain point. Next, it has been snowing. Okay, so this is it has been snowing. It's present perfect progressive. Okay, so when it talks like this, snowing since Christmas morning, because the answer here is letter B, because it talks about the start of the snowing time, which is on Christmas morning. Next one, so since. Next, what are the main ingredients blank this casserole? So it's of. Number 19, my best friend John is named blank his great-grandfather after his great-grandfather. Okay, number 19, grandpa stayed up blank 2 in the morning, so it's until 2 in the morning. Number 20, most of the work blank to be completed this month, so needs. Okay, there you go. Good afternoon, this is Teacher Seppi. Hope you're gonna subscribe on my YouTube, Teacher Seppi. Bye. Hello, this is Teacher Seppi again. I have here reviewer for English, and this is good for general education. Okay, grammar. My brother and I blank good swimmers. Okay, our subject here is plural. Okay, so it calls for a plural verb, and the only plural verb that we have here is are, and that's letter B. Okay, next one, number 2. The weather is nice today. Blank, warm and sunny. Okay, here the answer is it is, and it could be shortened into it's, and that's letter B. Next one, Dante blank a book when the phone rang, so it's past form, and Dante actually when the phone rang, Dante, what was Dante doing? He was reading a book. So we say Dante was reading a book when the phone rang. Okay, next one, I am tired, I blank to go home. Since letter C, I want to go home. You cannot answer letter A because want is not used with ing. Next one, number 5 is the same with number 3. It blank when we went out. Okay, so here, when they went out, what was happening? It was raining. Okay, so it was raining when we went out. Okay, it's letter B. Next, number 6, James blank asleep while he blank. Okay, now here, past form, hey, James fell asleep while he was reading. Next, number 7, I blank a lot of books, but I don't read much these days. So here we have the usage of used to. Okay, so you say I used to read a lot of books, but I don't read much these days. Used to base form is an action that you were always doing in the past, but you are not doing these days, or the says at present. Okay, so the answer here is letter D. Next, Jane and Mike blank married for 10 years. Okay, so here for 10 years, it calls for a present present perfect form, I'm sorry, because there is a time here which is a span of a period of time for 10 years. Okay, so Jane and Mike is plural, so we need plural. Okay, so here letter C is the answer. Jane and Mike have been married for 10 years. Next one, I know Mary. I blank her for a long time. Again, for a long time. It calls for a present perfect, I'm sorry. So you say, I have known her for a long time, and that's letter D. Okay, Reynaldo has been in Canada blank 6 months. Again, period of time, you use for because it's a period. Okay, so here letter C is the answer for number 10. Next, I've lived in North Cotabato blank, I was 10. So it's a start of the time. So we need since. Okay, we use for a period of time and since for the start of a given time. Okay, the answer here is letter A. Next, number 12. I don't think it blank this afternoon. So if you encounter this kind of question, always take note of the word think. Think always takes will form. Okay, so you say I don't think it will rain this afternoon. Letter B. Next one. I think Paul blank the lead exam. Okay, again here the word think, so it calls for the will verb, will plus base form. Letter C is the answer. I think Paul will pass the lead exam. Next one, number 14. When I was young, blank very fast. So it could. So when I was young, I could run very fast. Letter B. Next one, I am happy. I'm happy too. Letter C. Because it's positive sentence, we use to. But if it's negative, like number 16, I can't cook. I can't cook either. Okay, either. Next one, oh, that's letter C. Next, number 17, blank kind of music do you like? It is letter B. What kind of music do you like? Next one, blank is the capital of the Philippines. Of course, very obvious. It's what? Letter B. Next one, Sonia suggested blank to the movies. Okay, you must search for the verb that are only followed with to plus verb or in the infinitive form, and there are also verbs that are only followed with ing form, and there are also verbs that can be followed with by to or infinitive or ing. Okay, so here suggested this verb is only followed with ing form. Okay, Sonia suggested going to the movies. Next, prefer. I prefer blank by car. So this one, we have two answers for number 20 because prefer, the verb prefer can be followed both by ing or infinitive form. So we have here A and B. Next one, are you going blank this afternoon? Okay, take note of go plus hobby or sport, something like that. Go shopping, go swimming, go skiing, like that. Okay, so are you going shopping this afternoon? Letter C. Next, number 22. They went again. Went blank. It's fishing because went is just past form of go. Okay? So the answer here is letter A. Next, number 23. Tanya blank coffee for us. So the answer is making coffee for us. 24. Somebody asked, book is this? Blank book is this? So here, it calls for a possessive form. So the answer is letter D. Whose? Next one, last number. I would like blank about hotels in Cebu. Okay, so since this one, the answer here is I would like some information about hotel in Cebu. Actually, this is not a question. I'm sorry, it must be a period. It's a positive sentence, so it requires for letter D, some information. We cannot say some informations. It's because information does not have as whether it's plural or singular. Okay, there you go. I hope this helped you guys, and don't forget to follow my YouTube channel, Teacher Seppi. Just find Teacher Seppi. Okay, bye. Hello, teachers. This is Teacher Seppi again. I have here reviewer for science. The first question, the following are features of mitosis except, okay, letter A, 2 daughter cells are produced from one parent cell. Letter B, it involves only one nuclear division. Letter C, it has crossing over. Letter D, daughter cells contain the same number of chromosomes as the parent cell. So in mitosis, letter D is correct because it only undergoes one cellular division. And letter B, it involves one nuclear division. This is true. And 2 daughter cells are produced in mitosis. So the answer here is letter C, which is it has crossing over because in mitosis there is no such thing as crossing over of chromosomes. Next, number 2, how many chromosomes do daughter cells of mitosis have? So it's 46 chromosomes. If it's asking for how many pairs of chromosomes, you're gonna answer it 23 pairs of chromosomes, okay? The answer here is letter C, which is 46. Next, the following are members of the fibrous root system except, okay, when we say fibrous roots, the roots of these plants are having the same sizes, okay? The choices are carrot, rice, corn, onion, okay? So the answer here is carrot because carrot belongs to the top root system wherein there is one big root before, and you can see the small roots anyway. Next one, number 4, which of the following is not true about my meiosis? Daughter cells contain half a number of chromosomes as a parent cell. This is true because this happens in gamete cells. Gamete cells must have half the number or 23 chromosomes only because when they meet, and what's this? When they meet during fertilization, when these two gamete cells meet during fertilization and form into zygote, they make 46 chromosomes, okay? Letter B, variations do not occur in the daughter cells. It occurs. Variations occur. Involves 2 nuclear divisions is correct and occurs in gamete cells is correct, okay? So the answer is letter B. Okay? Variations occur. Next one, number 5, the exchange of gases in plants is made possible by what cells? The answer here is stomata. It's the tiny opening that you can see under the leaves, okay? Where the gas exchange happen. Next one, blank covers the blade of a leaf to prevent water loss. Usually when you see the leaves of the plants, they have this what you call very shiny stuff that covers the upper or the blade or the upper part of the leaves. It's what we call cuticle. It's a waxy substance. This does not allow the water loss in plant leaves because if there's no cuticle, what will happen is the leaves will die. Anyway, next one, which of the following protects the plant cells from damage? Okay, so it's cell wall, letter B. Next one, which of the following belong to the top root system? As I told you earlier, top root system has one big root, and that is letter B, radish. Okay, all the 3 other choices belong to the fibrous root system. Number 9, when 2 gamete cells meet and form into zygote, how many pairs of chromosomes does the zygote have? So here it's asking for pairs, so it's 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes. The answer is letter B, 23 pairs of chromosomes. Number 10, how many chromosomes do daughter cells of meiosis have? It's 23 chromosomes. Because when these two cells, like for example egg cell and sperm cell, meet during fertilization, they make a total of 46, which is a normal number of chromosomes, okay? Or 23 pairs of chromosomes. That's it for today. Thank you so much. I hope you're gonna subscribe on my YouTube channel, Teacher Seppi. Thank you guys. Good luck.
Hello, good afternoon po sa lahat. And ito po tayo, mag-aano po ako ng videos. Okay, so my best friend lives blank Boritz Road. Okay, so yung pag road na, yung preposition natin, preposition on yung gamit natin pag road, avenues, streets, like that. Okay, so ayun. Just say, my best friend lives on Boritz Road. Pag may number ng house yan, dapat ang preposition nyo is at. Okay, like shall I say, my best friend lives at number 72 Boritz Road, like that. Pero pag place lang or city, ganon, ang gagamitin nyo naman na preposition is in. Like, my best friend lives in Las Piñas City. Ganon lang siya. Okay, so here the answer is on Boritz Road kasi road siya ang nakalagay sa address. Next one, both drill captains blank with a band. Okay, so both drill captains, yung subject natin is compound, plural, and that's both, indefinite pronoun, both, so practice. Both drill captains practice. Next one, number 3, 1/4 of the cake. Okay, so remember, pag fraction siya sa subject-verb agreement, pag fractions, yung after ng fraction, yung object of the preposition, kung singular siya, dapat singular lang din siya. Pag plural siya, plural yung verb. Okay, so ganito, 1/4 of the cake, since yung cake, object of the preposition of is singular, so dapat yung verb natin is singular. So we say 1/4 of the cake is not enough for him, or okay, pero pag sinabi ting 1/4 of the cakes are not enough for him. Okay, ganun dapat. Remember that fraction. Hindi siya has or have here kasi hindi naman siya present perfect tense. Next, number 4, 1/4 of the cakes. Oh, ito yung sinasabi ko. 1/4 of the cakes are not enough for him. So, that's letter B. Number 5, 2/3 of the chicken. Okay, again, fraction, 2/3 of the chicken is eaten. Okay? Singular siya. 2/3 of the chickens. So, maraming chicken yon. Maraming chicken na buo. So, 2/3 of that. That's why it's R. Okay? 70 years is a very long time to wait. Okay? Time, distance, money. They always take singular verbs. So it's like 70 years is a very long time to wait. Next one. 60 kilometers blank a long ride. Okay, so distance again is a long ride, singular. Next, 10,000 pesos. This is money. Is not enough to pay the bills. Okay, singular kasi amount. 2,500 peso bills are gone. Okay, why are? Kasi may quantifier dito which is 20 pieces, diba? Okay. So that's why are. 2,500 peso bills are gone. Next one, since he met his new girlfriend, one never seems to be at home. To be at home. Number 12, the child responded to his mother's demands by throwing a tantrum. Okay, by throwing a tantrum. I think she spent the entire afternoon on the phone. My fingers were injured, so my sister had to write the note for me. Okay, for me. The police caught the thief. The corner of the Cascade and Plum Streets. Okay, so corner, pag corner siya, specific points, gamitin natin yung at the corner, at the middle, at the center, ganun. So, okay? So, at the corner of Cascade and Plum Streets. It has been snowing since Christmas morning. Okay? So, perfect tenses, I'm sorry. Perfect tenses, we usually use for and since. Pero since, ang gagamitin natin dito is since kasi start ng time siya. Pag since kasi start ng time, pag buong time, o yung total period, for. Like for 30 days, like that. Since start, yung Christmas morning, is the start of the time or the period, so we have to use since. Okay? So, it has been snowing since Christmas morning. What are the main ingredients of this casserole? My best friend, John, is named after his great-grandfather. Grandpa stayed up until 2 in the morning. Okay. Most of the work to be completed, most of the work, okay, so needs to be completed this month, okay? So, I hope this one helps you guys. I'll be going to upload more videos on this, and yeah, see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, this is for general education English and basic grammar. Okay, so let's start with this. Please be quiet. I work, I'm working, or I'm work. The answer here is I'm working. Please be quiet, I'm working. So that's happening at the time of speaking. So when I say, when an action is happening at the time of speaking, you always have to use the be plus ing form. Okay, so that's I'm working. That's present continuous form. Okay, so that's letter C. The water looks nice. I'm going swimming. The answer here is letter D, number 2, because all forms of the verb go, when it is always followed with an activity, the activity must be in ing form. Okay, so you would say I go shopping, I went swimming, like that. So say in here, going is a form, is a verb form of go. In the present participle form of go, so you would say I'm going swimming. Okay, that's it. Next, remember that if a verb form go followed by an activity, the activity must always be in ing form. So the answer here is letter D. Next, number 3, I will visit you blank summer. Okay, so prepositions, the use of prepositions. The answer here, if you are going to use the preposition of time for at, you're referring it to the exact time. Like for example, at 7 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, like that. How about on? On is used for the day and dates, like on Sunday, on Monday, and on January 10, on April 22, like that. In is used in months, year, and what's this? Season. Okay, summer is the season, so you would say in. The answer here is letter C. Okay, there you go. Yan, ang daming nagkakamali sa prepositions of time na yan, na in, on, at. Okay. Seppi blank a shower every day. Okay, so this one is a present form because of the time expression every day. So this is, what's this? Present tense. So you would say takes. Seppi takes a shower every day. I'm going, again, and here, ang sinasabi ko, the verb form of go, going. I'm going shopping. Okay, so it's ing form because that's activity. Our Christmas vacation starts, okay, so blank December 13. So as you can see here, December 13 is a date. Okay, so you would say on. Maria isn't feeling well. She blank a headache. Okay. Actually, dalawa yung sagot dito. I'm sorry. So, you would say, has got, letter B, and has. You can use them interchangeably. This is based on the, British Council grammar book that I have. Ayun. So, you can use has got, or have got, has got and has, or have got and have, interchangeably. So you would say has got a headache and has a headache. Okay? So the answer is here. Our letters B and D. I'm sorry. Dapat isa lang yan. Okay. Gregorio is studying math blank college. Okay. So here, place, you would say in college. My brother blank traveled by plane. So here, okay. So, the action of the verb here is like from the time when he was born until now. So, you would say, the tense of the verb that is appropriate to use here is the present perfect form. So, you would say, my brother is singular, so it says, has never been traveled by plane. Okay? I'm sorry, sorry, not been, I'm sorry. It's not passive form. sorry. My brother has never traveled by plane. I'm sorry. So, it's letter A. Has never traveled by plane. Not has never been. Because my brother blank traveled by plane is an active voice. So, you would say has never. If there is like has never been, that must be the plane has never been traveled by my brother. Passive form siya dapat. Okay? So, I'm sorry. So, the answer here is letter A, which is has never traveled by plane. Next, number 10, I bought. Oh, the use of articles. Articles are adjectives, actually. The use of the articles a, an, and the. Okay, here. This one has two sentences. As you notice in the question, there are two sentences here. And the first sentence, you always have to use the indefinite articles a or on. So you would say, I bought a jacket and a shirt. I like the jacket so much. Why the jacket in the second sentence? It is because you are referring it to the jacket you bought that was already stated in the first sentence. Okay? So, ganun siya dapat. I bought a jacket and a shirt. I like the jacket so much. The jacket in the second sentence, you're referring it to the jacket you bought, which was already stated in the first sentence. So, here, the. So, that is letter C. Next one, number 11. James has gone. James has gone to Italy. Okay, so places. Gone to places. Has gone to Italy. This is not she's. He has. Or he is in Milan right now. Okay, to and in. That's letter D. Next one. Oh, so here a question again. So is there a bank near here? Yes, at the end of the block. Usually at the end, at the corner, like that. When you're using the prepositions at for places or location, this is a specific point in a certain place. So it's at the center, at the middle, okay, at the end, like that. At the end of this block. So you would say a and the. So that is letter D. Next one. His birthday is blank January. Okay, so as you notice here, prepositions of time again. January is a month, and as I've told you earlier, that you are going to use the preposition in for months, year, and season. So here, this is month January. You would use in here. Okay, so that's letter A. His birthday is in January. Next one, she has been waiting blank 10 minutes. Has been waiting. This is present progressive form. Present perfect progressive. So when you are talking to a specific period of time, like 10 minutes like that, you can use in or for. Okay? In or for. Since in the choices, we only have for, so you would say for here. So she has been waiting for 10 minutes. Or you can say also, if there is no for in the choices, and then the present there is in, so you would say she has been waiting in 10 minutes. You can use them in interchangeably. Okay, for the period of time lang ha. And then she has traveled across the Philippines by bus. Okay, by bus, I'm sorry. Next one. Late tonight. Don't wait for me. Okay, so this is the second form of conditional. Don't wait for me is a present form, so this must be future. So if I'll be late tonight, don't wait for me. That's it. Next one, 17. She has been there. Oh, she has been there. And then this is like start of the time. You always have to use since here. Since. She has been there since 1919. Remember that always. If it's the start of the time, you have to use since. And then if it's a period of time, you have to use for and in. And remember, this can only, for, in, and since can only be used with the present perfect tenses and the present perfect progressive tenses. Okay? So here, she has been there since 1999. Number 18, she's interested in the news. She, oh, this is like word order. She reads a newspaper every day. That's letter B. The time expression must always be at the last part of the sentence. So this says, she reads a newspaper every day. She reads, that's SVO form. Subject, the verb, and the object. She reads newspaper. Next one, so this letter B. 19, Earl Christian quits school at 16 and got a job in a bookstore. Okay, at 16, at 17, like that. Next, number 20, last number. The next conference is, okay, again, this one is this is date or day. So remember the prepositions of time, that is on. Okay, so the next conference is on January 10. Okay, so I hope this guys help you a lot. So please tune in and like my page for the for future videos. I'll be going to upload videos, video tutorials like that in the following days para mas ano. Kasi ang daming nagre-request na nahirapan silang mag-save lang na mag-save. So, ayun, in-explain ko na lang para sa benefit naman ng mga visual learners. Okay, so I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. God bless. Have a great day ahead.